I'm going to front load this video and essentially say that the 2019 Mazda 3 is the best they've ever built and one of the best cars in the segment with very little concrete competition. Yes, it is that good. It also happens to be extremely beautiful, especially the sedan. Look at this car. This is a GT, mind you, so it's got the wheels and a few other accents that the base cars don't have, but the overall shape is identical. Look at the nose on that. Find me, other than the body cut lines, a straight line in this car's body. Swooping lines. So curvaceous, so beautiful, so full, yet simple and elegant. I mean, seriously, you could slap a Lexus badge on this, or maybe even a Mercedes badge, and it wouldn't be that hard of a sale. All right, so the important stuff to know. 2019 sedan, Mazda 3 Sedan GX base with the 6-speed manual transmission and 2-liter 4-cylinder engine starts at $18,000 even. If you want the 6-speed automatic on top of that, it's $1,300 more. Then you move into the GS, which is the more popular trim of the Mazda 3 with the 6-speed manual transmission and the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. You're looking at $22,700. Now, if you want a 6-speed automatic transmission, it now includes the larger 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine for a grand total of $24,300. As you step into the GS, you also now have access to one of the features that are supposed to put, or that is supposed to put, or set this car apart from the majority of its competition. It is now available with all-wheel drive. That adds an extra, I got this $1,700 for a grand total of $26,000. That is your least expensive all-wheel drive Mazda 3 sedan. For fun, to compare, unless I did this wrong, I don't think I did, the base Impreza all-wheel drive automatic for 2019 starts at $21,295. There is obviously a considerable gap features-wise, but almost $5,000 in difference price-wise. That's a big pill to swallow if you really want all-wheel drive. Then you move into the GT, which, like I said, that's what I'm driving this week. It starts at $26,200 and includes a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine and the 6-speed automatic. My car is a premium, which includes a leather smart keyless entry. It's kind of cool. Navigation, heads-up display, heated wipers, smart reverse braking assistance. This is on top of the already included heated steering wheel, dual zone climate control, and Bose audio. And it retails for $28,700. Finally, on top of that, you can add all-wheel drive for a grand total of $30,400. I told you it was beautiful. I just can't keep my eyes off of this car. It's just the details and the lights and how smoothly they integrate into the body. It's somehow... Anyway, the usual walk around. I think this is an accessory from the dealer. I'm not 100% sure, but it kind of looks nice. The button to open it up is under the Mazda logo. This reveals 370 liters of trunk space. Now, if I was to tally the trunk space of the Mazda 3 and the Elantra sedans that I have this week, still less trunk space than I have combined in my Golf sport wagon. But anyway, so back here, the back seat, rear seats, very roomy, as comfortable as those seats look. They are, I tell you. Sliding inside and out is quite nice, and there's a big advantage to the sedan over the sport hatchback, and that's a slightly larger greenhouse back here, so you have better visibility as a passenger. Legroom is still very, very nice. You can slide your feet under the seats. This is the dash. Just soak that in for a moment. I know that nothing is on, the gauges are all off, the screen is off, but look how dark that is. I like that a lot more than I think, actually. There's a luxurious, mysterious feeling to it. Anyhow, elbow room, headroom is quite good back here as well. And let's just look at the surfaces, the textures. Look at that. How everything blends together. the amount of effort required to bring all of this together. Obviously, this is a top-line GT. It's only 28 and change. Anyhow, it's very nice. I mean, the plastics down here, actually nicer than the ones in the $88,000 Lincoln Aviator I drove last week. Anyhow, front seat's very comfortable. So this is the Bose audio grill, which is lovely. So let's start her up. So you got your gauges, which are, yes, I know because it's cold outside. Right up here, you can only configure and set up the middle, which is more than fine. What I do love is the steering wheel on this thing. The grip is fantastic. It's thin, but just thick enough at the same time. Great thumb rests. Beautiful piece of work. It's a little bit, if it was like 20 millimeters smaller overall, it would be even nicer. But anyway, that's just me. Lovely screen up here. And because this is a GT, it also includes all of the features, all of the apps. There's your home button. And the graphics are so heavily improved over the previous cars. It's unbelievable. Previous Mazdas, I mean. The layout is really nice, and the functionality of the buttons, I mean, you only need like 2 or 3 clicks to get exactly where you want to go. Here's your sport drive mode. Honestly, I've only used it once so far. It does make a little bit of a difference, but this powertrain is, generally speaking, very efficient. And this is what I meant by dark. Even with the HVAC controls lit up, look how they seamlessly, almost invisibly blend into its surroundings. I really, really love that. I mean, the buttons are on top here for the fan controls. This is your mode button. It's not even indicated, but you know what it is because of the graphic above it. Really, really like that. Heated steering wheel, heated seats. I don't know. It's a thing of beauty. Even this dark button is really nice. Anyhow, so many things to say about a car that, for some reason, is just heavily underappreciated. Oddly, because it's a Mazda 3. Anyhow, let's do the usual and take her for a little drive. Oh, take the hat off. It's warm in the car. The reason, or the drive, and the thing that I do not understand, but I do understand because I can figure it out because I'm a smart guy, is why the Mazda 3 isn't selling anywhere near as well as A, it should, and B, once did. Because, right, I've been driving this car all week. I've been driving the Elantra as well. It's an Elantra Limited, by the way, so it's a top line, like the just GT. And obviously driving around in my own personal Golf Sport wagon, which is 2018, so it's still the current Mark 7 Golf you can buy in stores today. And this one, chassis, refinement, overall driving experience wise, stands head and shoulders above the other two. In fact, it's waist, shoulders, and head above the Hyundai. And the Hyundai actually is really good. That just begins to tell you how sorted this car is. It's the Sky Active platform, which is a miracle. Because the chassis, the way this thing is set up, suspension-wise, tuning-wise, with the larger wheels and the thinner tires, this thing handles so well. The steering is immediately responsive. The ride quality, the word is dynamic, all right? I hate using it because it applies to so many freaking things, but this thing handles beautifully. And when I drove the new Mazda 3 in Northern California at the launch event, I found the same thing. I essentially chalked it up to the fact that, hey, we're in Northern California, so the roads are nice, so that's why this thing handles so well. But then when I get home and on my broken Greater Montreal area roads, I'm going to be bouncing all over the place. But no, I am not. The balance between handling and comfort is optimized to near perfection in this car. And now a few words on the powertrain. So I mentioned the 2-liter, it's 155 horsepower. The 2.5, more interesting engine. It provides 186 horsepower as of 6,000 RPM. 186 pound-feet of torque, has a 4,000 RPM, and is exclusively available with this 6-speed automatic transmission. Combined, it's perfectly matched to the chassis on this car. Everything is immediately responsive. And here's something I didn't think I was going to say. I don't want to say ever, but I never thought. Anyway, 6-speed automatic transmission is, there are a few gears missing. It's really messed up. And the reason is simple. I mean, as I'm accelerating hard, which is something I tend to do, you can tell between a number of shifts, like 2-3 and even 3-4, there's a considerable drop in engine RPM, which is, you can almost hear the 2.5 screaming, saying, I've got more, give me more revs, I got the power. I mean, even with the CVT in the Elantra, I don't know, there isn't that mechanical lagginess. Anyway, more on the drive. The brake pedal feel is perfect. I mentioned the steering. The noise level inside the car is very good. The Skyactiv G engine, like the previous Skyactiv G engines, has a very unique and distinct buzziness to it, which you quickly enough forget that it's there when it's your car. I mean, all week, every time I start it up, I'm like, oh yes, I recognize that engine noise immediately. So let's say it's a trait of the Skyactiv G engines in Mazdas. Essentially, Mazda was going for the premium approach, and they hit it so far out of the park that I think that maybe that's in part one of the reasons why the Mazda 3 isn't doing as well as it should. The main culprit is not the base car at $18,000 or a lower trim GS at $22,000, $23,000. No, it's the $26,000 all-wheel drive. Once you get to that price point, you're so close to so many base all-wheel drive crossovers that you wonder why you would get something with a smaller trunk that's only a sedan. The sedans are not cool, but this one is absolutely the coolest sedan, compact sedan you can buy today. And this combination of factors is turning people away from what is, as I've said, the best Mazda 3 they've ever built. In fact, they've done so good, Mazda, at putting this thing together that they've essentially knocked themselves out of contention, or so it seems. Anyway, if you are in the market, I'm not pleading, but I'm just saying you gotta drive this car to fully appreciate it. I swear to you, going from the Elantra to the Golf to the Mazda 3, it's like taking a step up, or like a step up from the Elantra to the Golf, and then 2 steps up into the 3 from the Golf. Unbelievable car, this one. Unbelievable. I'd pick this over a Corolla, a Forte, which is really good too, a Civic, definitely a Sentra, or any other car, in fact, in the segment. This thing is unbelievable. Give it some love, people. What is the matter with you?